Hello. So we are excited to come back and discuss a day in the life of being a financial analyst. One thing I wanted to point out about being a financial analyst, all of us have very different roles. So we'll each share different experiences and a little bit about our viewpoint of what a day in the life is. From my perspective, working in corporate finance has been fantastic because I've had the ability to move into multiple different areas or different roles that really feel like the right fit for what I enjoy to look into or where I like to provide analysis. One of my favorite roles I've had was in an overhead role where we really focused on the cost per head count or the cost of our resources and attaching a dollar to that. So, IBM, we sign deals, we make revenue, but I really enjoyed working on the cost team to identify costs that we can take down or providing insight of where we are. From kind of a day-to-day perspective, I log on in the morning and, we're mostly remote. So it's a lot of conference calls and working with team members. I work with a small team of maybe I look at just the labor costs, but I work with a team that looks at different cost areas. So we're all experts almost in the role that we have, and we can lean on each other for support or questions, but we really each get to be an owner of our own area. And then throughout the day, I have conference calls with different areas of the business. Maybe I work with operations to help them find insight. Maybe I'm working with someone in cost. Maybe I'm working with someone in sales. So I really love that part of my job is being able to provide insight and analysis from different parts of the business and be able to provide value that's going to make and drive some great decisions that'll happen for IBM. So that was a little bit about costs. I'll pass it off on to Rose so she can share some of her day of the life.
Thanks, Hannah. So Hannah did a good job kind of breaking down the different elements here within finance that we do, but I'll expand a little bit on the expense. So expense, think of it as how can IBM cut down how much they're spending versus looking at cost where we're looking at how can we cut down how much we charge our customer or our client. So when we're looking at IBM as an entity, we're looking at IBM as a business. It's like, what can we do as IBM to cut down how much we're spending? So we could either be looking at, all right, we need a couple projects that are coming on board and we're going to hire people. And then they'll come to us and ask us, hey, can we afford them? And we have to either tell them, yes, you can afford them, or no, we don't have money to hire new people. And we have to think outside the box. How can we still get these projects on if we can hire new people? So then you start thinking of ways of, all right, we have resources already on our team. Maybe we can realign them and get them to help with this project. Because at the end of the day, if you think about corporate finance, we're thinking about how can we make money for our shareholders. That's what corporate finance is our duties to the shareholders to make sure they're making money. And one way we can do that is to make sure we're bringing in revenue, but we're also cutting down on how much IBM as a company is spending and how much our customer are spending on their cost. So I'll hand it off to Zach to give us a little bit more details on how we can make money and bring in that revenue.
Yeah, thank you, Rose. I think that's where I get excited. It's the revenue side, and I always bring it back to examples, just simple examples. And I mean, everyone I remember as a kid used to mow lawns, and it was as simple as you got that new lawn down the street that they said, hey, I'll give you $20 to go mow, and you got all excited. You spent the day doing it. You put in the time and effort, and at the end of the day, you got that crisp $20 bill. And man, it was great to feel that sense of your pockets filled with cash. And I think that's the piece with the revenue side that gets me so excited, and something I kind of strive to specialize in is it's that excitement to go turn your dollar into $20 or go make that profit, turn your profit into more. And that's kind of the aspect that I followed at IBM, and I think that's where I get the most excitement day to day from, is kind of diving into that world. Next, we'll talk about what's the next steps to getting into corporate finance. Is it classes in middle school, in high school, in college? Is it going home and asking your parents about what they do or things like that? I think the world of finance is endless. I mean, there's so many great things you can do, and everyone loves to be a genius over something. If it's shoes, if it's purses, if it's a sports team, I think finance allows you to become an expert in a world that not everyone can say they know. So I think that's really the excitement that you get. And as you can see, the three of us are experts in things that are totally different. And I think that's the most fun part about it all.